Inside Michigan basketball, delivered by UPS.
Welcome to Inside Michigan basketball. I'm Ed Kongursky. The Wolverines were focused on an upset in Game 2 of the Big Ten tournament in downtown Chicago.
We're the defending champion, right? The regular season champion. Right? We're the ones that have been through this before. At the same time, they're the regular season champion right now. So we're going to play like champions today. And when you win these games, right, you're playing at the highest level right now. And this is pretty simple. It's not about some intricate plays. This is about playing at a high level. Fundamentally, that's all it is. And playing with them, fundamentally, you got to go out there with swag, as we talked about, with confidence on your teammates, like you had yesterday with all those assists. Right? In the plan, whatever comes in and out of the huddle, whatever we've been working on all year long, balance, 2 feet, being strong. And probably most importantly in yourself. You got to have great swag today. You cannot, right? They may be a little taller in some areas, a little older in some areas. So was Illinois yesterday. It didn't bother us one bit. We brought it right at them right from the beginning.
Michigan facing a Wisconsin team that was number 6 in the country and number 1 in the conference. Matt Shepard has the highlights from the United Center.
Michigan looked confident and picked up right where they left off Thursday. Spike Albrecht had the mindset of scoring early, and he had 7 of the Wolverines' first 13 points.
Now pulls it back out. Ball knocked loose. Gets it back. Fadeaway jumper. Oh, he hit it. Right side. Spike Albrecht feels like he can do just about anything he wants.
The Michigan defense kept the Badgers off balance. Took an early lead, too. They extended that lead thanks to deep buckets from Albrecht and Zach Irvin.
Now hands to Irvin. 6 to shoot. Step back 3. Got it. Right side. Zach Irvin's second triple of the day. He's got double digits already, and Michigan's in front 19-13.
U of M led by as many as 9 in the opening half. But all Big Ten second-teamer Sam Decker responded with authority, scoring 8 straight Badger points. Wisconsin would continue to work the inside. They scored 18 points in the paint and hit 4 of their final 5 shots to take a 31-26 halftime lead.
Backs in against a double team. Top side. Koenig for 3. Another make.
Irvin carried Michigan early in the second half, creating and scoring, and his tough fadeaway got U of M to within 1. He then had a key steal that led to a fast break chance.
Irvin drives on Koenig. Off the high glass. No. Follow-up jam by Dawkins. Michigan's back in front 42-41. What a way to make a splash for your first field goal of the day.
Another one would follow that led to Muhammad Ali Abdur-Rahman's layup, and suddenly Michigan led it by 3 thanks to an 8-0 run. But there's a reason the Badgers won the Big Ten by a couple of games. They started dialing long distance, hitting from downtown thanks to Duye Dukin and Josh Gosser. But Aubrey Dawkins responded with a triple of his own, and then Ricky Doyle hit an up and under to push Michigan back in front. But the Big Ten Player of the Year, Frank Kaminsky, went to work inside to keep U of M at bay. The All-American would finish with 16 points and 12 rebounds, his 11th double-double of the season. Zach Irvin did what he could for the Wolverines, boasting his 3rd double-double of the year, leading all scorers with 21. But in the end, the top-seeded Badgers marched on in Chicago with a final of 71-60.
We just told each other to keep fighting. You know, it's not over. You know, I mean, we keep telling ourselves, I mean, we have nothing to lose. You know, I was just proud of how hard we competed. But, you know, today Wisconsin was just a better team.
They got a lot of experience. They got a lot of guys who played in games like that before. They're a really good basketball team. They don't beat themselves. And they beat us to some 50-50 balls, offensive rebounds, and things like that. That's what wins games.
The skill, just and their size too. You know, it's tough to handle. You know, with such a young team, and you know, so many guys, you know, down and stuff. It's just tough to play a team like Wisconsin to get that win.
We've come a long way. You know, we faced some adversity along the road, but you know, I think we're all better because of it. We've had, especially our young guys, they've grown a lot, and you know, we've had a lot of guys who've gotten a lot better this season, and hopefully it's not over. You know, hopefully we get a chance to keep playing.
We've played like a team that, you know, we didn't used to be, and you know, we've clicked together, and you know, guys are feeding off each other more than they ever have.
Up next, we'll hear from head coach John Beilein, and later in the show, I'll have news from Schembechler Hall, where spring football practice continues.
Inside Michigan basketball, delivered by UPS. Let UPS put the power of logistics to work for you. heck of an effort by your club, and I knew you've heard that before all season long, but it's really the second chance points, their offensive rebounds that hurt you today, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think, I don't know if we can do something about a few of those because Nigel Hayes is just bigger and stronger than our young guys, and they got that front line that's 6'9", 6'8", and 7 feet, and that was really the key to the game right there. That kicked out threes to them or gave them extra opportunities. We didn't get many of those, and that was really a big reason that we weren't able to be successful today.
Spike Albrecht in the first half, 10 points. Zach Irvin in the second half, and not just by scoring, Coach, rebounding, defending as well. Yeah, we saw great steps in both directions with those guys, and I'm really excited about them. You know, we don't know what the postseason will hold for us right now with an NIT opportunity, but the way they've grown so far, it's been amazing to watch this, and so proud of them. And so we gotta. I know our kids will look at this, and this is the type of team, Matt, when they go into the off season, they won't be pointing fingers at, you know, I didn't play enough or we didn't win because of this or that. They'll be saying, all right, now I get it. I understand what I have to do to be a better player so we can be a better team. Ricky Doyle, illness earlier the last couple of weeks or so, but today really responded well. Went after everything, finished the year in the last 2 games 7 for 7 from the floor. Yeah, and you know, he got some drop-offs for some layups and some dunks, but we've been working on that one spin move that he had right where he scored over Kaminsky, and that's a big move for him in the right direction. You know, I think Kaminsky averaged 2 points as a freshman, so it would be something if he could make that same growth that Frank made, that would be good. I don't compare the two, but it's just good for him to have that success on this day, and like I said, hopefully he's got more games to play. You and your staff have always, epitomized character. I think this team played with a great deal of character this year. No pity parties when they lose Karis LeVert. No sad faces when they lose Derek Walton or when they are adjusting to your offense and defense. They came out there and gave you everything they got every single night. No, they sure did, and it was really great to be able to coach this particular team. So it was no maintenance. I mean, our maintenance was, you know, catch the ball on 2 feet, catch it with 2 hands, stay in a stance, talk to each other on the floor. That was the maintenance. We didn't have maintenance in other areas. How important would it be for this team to continue on? I mean, I know they've grown an awful lot this year, but now that they're starting to get it, how important would it be to continue your season? I think either way. You know, we want to play again. We want to be in the postseason, but it wouldn't take anything away from it if we weren't. We're going to grow from this either way. But you know, I've been fortunate to be in a few NITs and twice go to Madison Square Garden and one time win it. I do know that usually feeds their fuel or their fire a little bit more. They don't maybe think of that right away because they want to go to the NCAAs, but in time they grow to love it, and we can make a run there. The 11-point difference is not indicative of how close this game was, and you took this team that's got a chance at a national championship to overtime and the other time that you played them. How much satisfaction have you gained from your team's improvement this year, you and your staff? Well, that's it. I mean, we're not satisfied with this loss, but we've seen in practice, as I said yesterday, the light bulb go on in some areas just with their motor matching up with their mind in particular actions that they have to read. And usually you don't have to do this with, you know, especially the 4 freshmen that are out there so much. And usually you don't have to do that with them. There's only 1 or 2 that you have to work at. So it's really been refreshing, and it's great. It bodes well for the future. Thanks for everything all year. All right, thanks, Matt.
When we return, how the Maize and Blue started Big Ten tournament play. It was arguably their best all-around game of the season.
You just cannot go out there and you're guarding Hill, you're guarding Rice, and with any doubts at all. You got to have an edge about you that you can do this. Because you've done it twice. They had, until the last couple of minutes, they had 45 points against you in 40 minutes, right, in Champaign. Right, you can do this, but you got to have an edge about you. They're not going to go away. They're going to be fighting as hard as you are. This time of the year, there ain't anybody like, you can't go, okay, I want somebody else to do this. I don't want this. This is time, it's your time. That you have to look at these games and say, this is what I've been working for all the time. The season is short, right? All of a sudden, could be very short. This is not a time to say, I wish I would have played harder. I wish that I would have asked for the ball there. I wish I would have run that play believing I could make that shot.
The 2 regular season meetings between Michigan and Illinois needed overtime to settle the score. Took a while for both teams to get it going in this one, but Aubrey Dawkins got a nice backdoor pass from Max Bielfeldt, and then the Wolverines hoisted long-range jumpers from Dawkins and Zach Irvin.
Irvin, a deep 3 on the way from the left wing, good. Zach Irvin kind of set his man up and dropped home his 73rd triple.
They kept pouring it on with Muhammad Ali Abdur-Rahman, who hit 3 shots in a row, and Michigan was on a 12-0 run. The Illini missed 7 of their first 8 shots, but then hit 6 of their next 7, and it was the Fighting Illini going on a 13-0 spurt of their own thanks to their bench. It was halted by Spike Albrecht's 3-ball, but the battle was on, and the two teams traded buckets. The Wolverines started to reassert themselves, capped by a gorgeous alley-oop.
Rockster dribble against none around a screen from Bielfeldt. Hop step in the lane. Alley-oop for Dawkins, and he jams it down. Left baseline feed, and Dawkins rose up and stuffed it through the left side of the rim.
Michigan then went on a 12-0 run and bumped their lead to double digits. And they kept the pressure on, getting some key makes from just about everybody on the Michigan lineup. They shot 47% of the first half and nailed 6 triples to take a 40-23 halftime lead. Michigan stayed strong in the second half, extending their lead to 23 on an incredible dish from their captain.
Middle of the floor, Albrecht. Behind the back pass, Dawkins with the jam. Say it, Gary. You don't have to hold back. That was awesome.
U of M had its largest lead of the day. Irvin, Rahman, and Dawkins continued to carry Michigan. They were a factor, if not scoring, then passing and finishing. U of M built a 24-point bulge with 8.5 minutes to go. They easily beat the Illini full court pressure and were unselfish throughout. They put on an offensive clinic.
Touchdown pass for Chapman. Chapman took it inside, laid it off for Bielfeldt. A ball fake, reverse layup, good, and one.
Michigan led at 69-46. The Illini never got closer than 16 in the second half. Michigan had 4 players in double figures, shot 49% for the game, and knocked down 7 of 15 from long range. The Wolverines win at 73-55.
The best part of the game was not the start. It was the second start when it got up 9-2, and then they came up and the play started getting a little loud, and then all of a sudden it was 19-19, and all of a sudden we took it away from there. And on those possessions, we played incredibly good basketball. So offensively, defensively, rebounded the whole thing. We mixed everything up. We only had 9 turnovers.
That's correct.
Right? And
15 assists.
Yeah, 15 assists, 9 turnovers. That was a terrific effort by everybody. Your togetherness and connectivity was absolutely fantastic. Val made a very valid point about where we are and what you should think about going forward tomorrow. Is that, let's say this was the team, right, that we had, that Karras and Derek had, God forbid, some season-ending injuries back in October, right? And we were throwing a couple of curveballs as we adjusted. Now you really have a feel for everybody's role on the team. And that it woulda, coulda, shoulda, but we could have, it's that sort of idea. You know who you are right now, and you're playing really well connected, right? And we've all developed. It's all hate what's happened to these two, hate it. But in this way, you guys have just, you have good kids, you have a good coaching staff, you have a good attitude. You can show how you can grow from all those things. So really terrific. I'm really proud of you.
While the basketball team had a busy week in Chicago, there was plenty going on right here in Ann Arbor. Spring football continued for head coach Jim Harbaugh. Our first interviews with players coming up after the break. Even at Michigan, spring football has rarely had this kind of exposure. The interest by you, the fans, has been incredible. 3 more practices were crossed off the planner, and the players say it's getting more and more physical each and every day.
Practice is, it's long, it's competitive, but it's fun. I'm out there having fun, so that's one of the biggest things is as long as you're having fun, you don't even realize how long you're out there.
Competition is really what it is. Winning and losing, there's no in between. It's pretty clear who the winners are, pretty clear who the losers are.
It's getting used to something new. It's adjusting. It's new. It's fun.
How would you describe practice under Jim Harbaugh?
Exciting. Exciting. That's the one word. If I had to think of one word, it would probably be exciting and intense.
The passing game. It's complex, it's explosive, it's precise. And the man responsible for coordinating all the pieces is Jed Fish.
everything we do is we do collectively. We work together. And as we're putting it in, the challenge is to try to get all the position groups to, you know, if one guy does something wrong, or, you know, we miss a read or we miss a route, then the play's not going to be successful. So what we have to do is we're trying to really be in cohesion.
Improvement is the measuring stick, and Fish gave us a progress report after 2 short weeks with the student athletes.
We're a ways away from where we want to be, but we're many steps forward from where we were. And we're going to continue to build off of it. I think we're getting better every day at all 11 spots. And what we're trying to do, you know, is really simplify the game for our guys. And if we can do that, we should be able to raise our efficiency. And if we can do that, then we should start reaping some benefits from it. We don't want to become a jack of all trades and a master of none, so in the passing game. So we want to make sure that before we move too far away from our core, we want to make our core something that is special.
The recurring theme this spring has been compete, and the former NFL coordinator tells us the staff has challenged the kids to do that in everything they do, and I mean everything.
First thing I can say about them is they are making the other one better, because they are challenging each other. You know, even if it's who's the first guy to turn their test in, who's the first guy to show up, be in the meeting room, who's the first guy to be on the field. Everybody's trying to get better, and everyone's trying to be the best.
There's immense interest in who's going to be the starting quarterback for this football team. They've all been getting reps in practice, but remember, this race is a marathon, not a sprint.
We have to continue to challenge them to understand the number one principle of quarterback play is to complete passes, and number two is not turn it over. We're doing a much better job of not turning it over. Now we have to do a great job of completing the ball, and that's what we're really focusing in on.
Fish echoed what offensive coordinator Tim Drevno told us 2 weeks ago. Practice video is graded each day, and that system determines order of merit at the next practice.
We want them to understand that, you know, feel a little pressure. You know, don't feel stress, but feel pressure. And because pressure you can control. And really what it comes down to is this. They need to go out there and they need to be prepared and be ready to roll. And if they are and they understand what they're supposed to do, they'll get those grades to the point that they'll be able to maintain whatever spot they're at.
Whether it's inside Al Glick Fieldhouse or on the outdoor practice field, the atmosphere at U of M has been intense. And Fish sums it up with one word.
The atmosphere is about winning. That's what the atmosphere is here. And Coach Harbaugh is unbelievable in terms of making sure that everybody, every coach, every player, everybody, every support staff understands what the expectation is. And then every time you step on that field, you better try to be better than you were the play before and not have a hangover from the play, whatever happened. Just move on.
Fish and the staff all appear energized by the challenge before them, and it's also time for us to move on. When we come back, Matt Shepard returns with our Alro Steel Ironman of the Week.
Inside Michigan Basketball, delivered by UPS, is brought to you in part by Absol Pure Water, the official bottled water of the Michigan Wolverines.
Our Alro Steel Ironman of the Week at the Big Ten Tournament in Chicago is Michigan forward Zach Irvin. In a win against Illinois and a loss to Wisconsin, he averaged 17.5 points, 8.5 rebounds, and shot 48%. That included his third career double-double with a 21-point, 11-rebound performance against the Badgers. Zach Irvin, our Alro Steel Ironman of the Week.
I just got to give thanks to the coaching staff and my teammates. You know, my teammates were able to find me. You know, the coaching staff were just calling the plays for me.
As we stand here today, summarize this season. What do you take away from it?
Just being able to get through adversity. You know, I'm just proud of how hard we were able to stick through it, you know, and stay unified as a team. You know, I'm just proud of all of our guys.
How much better is this team than it was 30 days ago?
We're a lot better. You know, we have a growth mindset, just getting better and better each day. You know, I'm just proud of everybody.
Thanks, Matt. The Wolverines finished the season 16-16, and we appreciate you watching all year long. We'll be back next week with a special spring football edition. We'll see you then.